The terraced homes and suburbs of Norwich North are the setting for one of Norfolk's swing seats. In 2015, Conservative Chloe Smith was returned to Parliament with a 4,500 majority, with Labour coming in second. Chloe's been the MP then for the last 8 years, but's not taking anything or any votes for granted.
Well, my message to any person considering their choices at this election is cast your vote. Your choice really matters. Now, in Norwich North, it really does matter, actually, because Norwich North has been represented by different people over different decades. The point is, if you want a good local representative, you have to vote for her. And if you want a good national leader, you have to vote for her. And that is the choice on offer at this election.
It has been held by Labour in the past, though. And the party did buck the national trend with a decent showing in the city in the local elections earlier this month. Dr Chris Jones is the man trying to win the seat back for them.
Your MP is there to represent local people, but I think it's also about the national policies. Chloe is somebody who has voted down the line with the austerity programme, with the cuts, which I don't believe are good for the people of Norwich North, and as a Labour MP and hopefully with a Labour government, we would have a very different direction of travel.
UKIP have decided not to stand in Norwich North at this election, asking their supporters to lend their votes to the Tories. One unfamiliar name you will find on the ballot paper, though, is the Pirate Party. Their Liam Matthews will be standing on their ticket of protecting freedom of speech and protecting privacy. A more familiar name is Adrian Holmes from the Green Party, standing here for a third time now. He worries that environmental issues are being forgotten in this election.
They have been ignored, but of course with Brexit we're going to potentially lose a lot of our environmental regulations and standards that we've been relying on to at least fight climate change, but also in terms of local pollution levels, issues like that are really big issues, particularly for city areas at the moment. So I think it should be on the agenda. It hasn't. It's been put to this one side, if you like.
Out canvassing off Constitution Hill is Lib Dem candidate Hugh Lanham. He says despite what the polls may be suggesting, there's lots of voters who are still to make a final decision.
It really has changed. Even in the last week, we're getting more of that. But people are saying, we really haven't made our minds up yet. And I'm saying, here's our leaflets. And they're saying, yes, well, we're going to read these very carefully before we make our minds up. So it's all to play for at the moment.
Norwich North does tend to go with the party that wins the election. It's been a relatively gentle return to campaigning after the Manchester attack. But all of these candidates are saying it's important they do return to these doorsteps to put across their message. Neil Perry, Mustard TV, Norwich.